The smell of black tea wafted in the air. Martha turned off the stove and arranged the teacups on the table where Thomas was reading the Daily Times newspaper. Over the years, the couple had become a habit of having breakfast together before leaving for work. The kids usually have breakfast first before joining their school bus. For the couple's breakfast was more or less a time to bond, chat, and eat. Adams lost his wife yesterday. The doctors couldn't save her. Thomas disclosed the sad news to his wife. Martha's hands covered her mouth, and her eyes widened in shock. Oh my God! God's blessing and peace. How is Adam managing the whole situation? He is devastated. Maybe we should help him with some chores. Of course, yes. How can I help? Thompson swirled his tea with his spoon and thought before replying. Can you take care of cooking for him? Of course. I will help him around the house for a while. All right, I think this arrangement is fine. We can make him some hot meal once a week, since he has no close relatives living in the area. Sure, I think I can do that at the end of each week. Thank you. Thompson squeezed his wife's hands and smiled sweetly at her. In his heart, he knew he could always count on her. Martha playfully slaps his shoulder. Don't thank me. He's our friend. I feel sorry for Adams. It must be a huge toll on him. After breakfast, the couple headed out for work. They both agreed to attend the deceased burial at noon. When her phone rang, she knew it was her husband. At the same time, she noticed it was noon. It seemed as though time was fast. Earlier, when she got to work, she had taken permission to attend Jenny's burial. Thompson was dressed in an all-black suit and shirt. Martha knew the moment didn't call for flattery, but she couldn't but admire how gorgeous her husband looked. It seemed as though God himself created him. His slender build showed just how much he worked out. His hair was always well-trimmed and usually smelled nice. On the other hand, Martha wore a black gown that ended just below her knees. She packed her hair in a ponytail, making her look younger than usual. She didn't wear jewelry, since Thompson had informed her of the ceremony. The couple were 16 minutes late when they arrived at the cemetery. The priest had already started the procession. The weather was slowly darkening, meaning it would begin to rain soon. Hence, the priest tried to speed up the process. While lying the coffin on the ground, it started to drizzle. Adams clutched a stalk of rose flowers in his hand. He was unable to say any last words to his deceased wife. He stared blankly at the coffin. Martha stared at him deep in thought. She couldn't help but wonder if he was crying, or if the drizzle had splattered on his face. For close to 2 weeks, Martha had been shuffling her job, taking care of her family and Adams, who showed no sign of coming out of his depression. Martha was in the laundry room, sorting out the laundry, sorting a new set of clothes to send into the machine, and folding the dry ones. She was focused on completing the task. Suddenly, she felt a hand sneak around her waist, and a soft lip pecked her cheek. She blushed and nudged Thompson by his side. Babe, the kids are home. Thompson taps her head. Your head is always filled with dirty thoughts. I'm just playing around with my wife. Nothing more. Oh, I see. Can I help you out? Sure. Martha replies and assigns him a task. While doing the chores, Thompson keeps staring at her, unsure how to present the issue in his mind. Noticing her husband's frequent stares, Martha inquires about why he has been staring. Is there something you would like to ask or say? I think 1 meal a week is not enough for Adam. Oh, maybe, but I can only cook at the end of the week. Thompson looks at her shyly and speaks apprehensively. Maybe we could try cooking twice a week? I'd help out. But how? I work 5 days a week in 2 jobs. Yes, I'm sorry. It was a bit selfish of me to do that. Martha breathes deeply. She feels uncomfortable knowing her husband was trying to be selfless and caring towards his friends, but she is thinking about her job first. It must be hard for him, right? Did he ask for a meal, or is it just your thoughts? Well, I got it from his words, Thompson said while scratching his head. Okay, I'll take some time off every Wednesday and cook for him. Our friend has lost his wife. My boss should understand. Thank you. Thompson pecked his wife on the cheeks. He was grateful to God for blessing him with an understanding wife. The mall was particularly busy since it was the weekend. There was a long queue at the checkpoint. It seemed that everyone was trying to restock their groceries or shop for items for their families. Martha was rolling her cart out of the mall, feeling tired. She was at the checkpoint for more than 30 minutes before it got to her turn. While offloading the groceries into the car's trunk, her phone kept ringing. From the ringing tone, she knew it was her husband, because she had a distinct ringing tone for him. She rummaged through her bag and found her phone. Thompson sounded desperate from his end, and the rush in his voice unsettled her. "Did you get everything?" "Yes, I got everything that was on the list, and I added a little of my own. Is everything okay?" "Good. He just sent me the message. He wants only the DiCaprio pasta." Martha pulled a long face. Although Thompson couldn't see her, he could tell she was unhappy from her voice. "DiCaprio? What is that?" "It's a brand of pasta or something. I think his wife used to cook that for him." Martha inhales profoundly, trying not to explode, and talks calmly with her husband. "There's a queue at the mall. He may have to make do with what we have." "Darling, as much as I hate to inconvenience you, can we just do this for the sake of our friend?" "I'm not impressed by this. I was just at the counter for close to 30 minutes, but it's fine. I could get someone to help me out since it's just pasta." Reluctantly, Martha returned to the mall to get the pasta. Ever since Adams lost his wife, his routine changed. It became as though they started living for Adams. Today, she hoped they could take a break and have a little time for themselves. After cooking for her family and storing Adams' food in a pack, she notified her husband that they could drive down to Adams. The couple had a quiet trip down to Adams' house. Thompson pulled over and reached out for Martha's hand. Martha finally spoke for the first time in their 15-minute drive. "Take the food to him and come back immediately, okay? Let's go to the lake together. I don't want to miss the show." Thompson sighs uncomfortably and explains, "Sorry, he asked me if I could help him clean up his garage." "Okay, I mean it's been 2 months since his wife passed away." "Yes, sorry. By the way, he would like you to cook 3 times a week for him." Martha stared blankly at her husband. She couldn't believe he could suggest that, knowing her boss already hated her. "You know the situation I'm in at work, so did you tell him that I can't?" She noticed her husband couldn't even look her straight in the eye. He stuttered while replying. "Not yet. I said that you would probably be okay with that." "What? I have a full-time job. I still have to clean the house and do chores, cook for our children and you and Adams." Thompson held her hand to convince her. "Well, this is temporary. He is suffering enough these days." Martha felt her husband was overindulging Adams. Deep down, she wanted to yell at him, but decided to concede to his request. Despite being unhappy, Martha played along for her husband's sake. Weeks went by, and Adams wasn't showing any signs of independence. He still relied on Thompson and his wife. Martha felt like a burden was on her. She had volunteered to help, not cast a duty on herself, and create a rift between herself and her husband. Recently, Adams' requests were irking her, and no matter what he requested, her husband always gave in. Thompson was in the office dozing off when a message notification woke him up. "Hi, this is Nicholas. I have some guests tonight, 6 people. Can you arrange something for the table?" Thompson immediately tries to contact his wife, but she doesn't take her calls. He kept on sending messages, but she didn't reply. At 6 p.m., he called his wife, but got no response. He also called the house line, yet there was no response. He stormed into the house by 7:30 p.m. Martha was dressing, her phone, and snacking on a bowl of grapes. He felt his blood boil. "Why didn't you pick up the phone today?" Thompson asked angrily. "Did I have to?" Thompson was taken aback by her rudeness. His wife had always been calm and level-headed. He breathed and explained. Adams had guests over and had to order pizza. So what? What's wrong with ordering some pizza for his friends? Everyone knows he has no wife anymore. Maybe, but he is my friend and your friend too. What would the guests think of this? What a shame for us. Martha had enough of the torture. She needed Thompson to understand that they had done enough for Adams. "Oh, sorry, dear husband. I can only be your wife. I can't be his wife at the same time." "What are you talking about? Don't you get it? I cook 3 times a week for him, on our money. Maybe it's enough already. You spend time with him in the garage and play games so that he isn't bored. But you do that when you have free time, but I have no free time." "This is temporary," Thompson screamed at his wife. He couldn't understand what possessed her. "It should stop. 4 months have already passed." "Hello?" He has already started inviting his friends and having fun. He could have learned to cook already. The couple kept arguing back and forth. Thompson thought his wife was being unreasonably cruel. Martha, on the other hand, believed her husband was being soft-hearted. Finally, Martha suggested, "Why don't you cook for him, Mr. Nice Man?" "I don't know how to cook. Maybe you should quit your job. If you quit, you could cook for him every day. Your salary is miserable anyways." "What the hell are you talking about? Do you dare degrade my work for your friend? Screw you. Screw you and your friend. I'm out of this shit. I'm not playing this game anymore." Martha felt hurt. She couldn't believe her husband had spoken those words. She felt like she didn't matter to him anymore. "Darling, calm down. Stop talking about him like that and consider my words. Thompson, I'm not his secretary. I'm not Mother Teresa to him. I have my jobs. I have worries. Everything has a limit. You are not protecting me right now, and he owns our life, controls it, and dictates what we should do." Thompson looked at his wife, feeling a bit unsettled. He realized there was an element of truth in her words. Without waiting for her husband's reply, she declared, "From this day on there will be no food for him. I'm quitting taking care of him. Give, but give until it hurts. Mother Teresa."